Hi, Meg.
Do you know someone, or have you ever met someone with the disease multiple sclerosis? Well, today I'm going to tell you about what the disease is, the treatments for the symptoms, what kind of symptoms you get with the disease, people living with the disease, and the research being done to help find a cure for the disease. Multiple sclerosis is an autoimmune disease. Multiple sclerosis, also known as MS, is a lifelong, non-curable disease that affects the immune system. MS can either be almost benign in people, it can be completely paralyzed people. MS attacks the central nervous system. The central nervous system consists of the brain, spinal cord, and optic nerves. MS is a disease that basically attacks its own tissues. MS gets its name from the buildup of scar tissue, or sclerosis, that forms on the brain and spinal cord. This is why people get the symptoms they get. When the scar tissue has a protective covering called myelin, this process is called demyelination. Myelin is a fatty sheath that surrounds and protects the nerve. The reason this is a problem is that the myelin protects the nerve, and when the myelin is destroyed, there is nothing protecting the nerve. So the electrical signals coming from the brain or spinal cord cannot easily send messages to the rest of the body. Of the demyelination. This picture shows the nerve, the healthy myelin, and then the demyelination when the myelin is destroyed. Symptoms of MS can vary from person to person, and also depending on how severe the MS is. Some blurred vision or double vision, memory loss, tingling or numbness, depression, loss of balance, and fatigue. An estimated 400,000 people are living with MS in the United States. Some people with this disease can live almost normal lifestyles. Other people living with the disease and who are paralyzed by the disease need complete monitoring and help with all of their daily needs, such as taking a shower, getting dressed, making their coffee, and preparing meals. How much help people need depends on what kind of MS they have. The different kinds are classified in phases. There are 4 different phases, and they are relapsing remitting, and this type means that a person can relapse, but then can go into remission as well. The second kind is secondary progressive. This type means that relapses and partial recoveries can happen, but the disease does not go away. The third type is primary progressive. In this type, never remission, and symptoms never get better. The last kind is progressive relapsing. This is a very rare type, and people experience constant worsening symptoms. Many people with MS will go to a support group, and that gives them a chance to cope with other individuals who face the same issues. Families and MS can still do so many activities with their families and live normal lifestyles. My family went on a trip this summer, and my grandma, who is in a wheelchair, could still come with us and do many of the things that the rest of us did. My grandma may not be able to walk, but she does not let that get in the way of the things she wants to do. She has a great disease, and she doesn't let it stop her from the things she wants to do. Although there is no cure for MS that can help with treating the symptoms, and newer things that can maybe slow the progression, there are now 3 forms of a beta interferon that have been released by the FDA. Beta-seron, and Rebif are all medications in the treatment of relapsing remitting MS. Also, this can slow the progression of the physical disability. The FDA also approved a synthetic form of myelin basic protein to help with relapsing remitting MS. This is called copilamir 1 or Copaxone. There are some side effects, but the doctor usually will determine if the side effects outweigh the benefits. Novantrone is a medication known as metoxantrone, and this is an immunosuppressant treatment for people who have chronic MS. Many people get spasms, and those can be treated with muscle relaxants such as cyclobenzaprine, diazepam, and there's many more. Many research studies going on for MS, and there are many scientists who are trying to find ways for better and more effective treatments all over the world. There are also institutes that are and research in laboratories everywhere. Little Black Dress for MS. Every year at the Ramada Suites in Fargo, the National MS Society puts on a benefit for people to come out and support people living with MS, and to help contribute for the ability to do more research and possibly find a cure. There is a silent auction, a speaker, and dinner. Now, I hope you have learned something about the disease MS, and if you want more information about Little Black Dress for MS or people living with the disease, you can go to www.nationalmssociety.org.